Come on.
'Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind.
Welcome back to another edition of Pure Picks. Got UFC 327 coming up. Got my man Gerard here. How are you doing?
Doing good. Had a great weekend. We almost hit a lot on that card, but we weren't really in the right mind space to get the right picks in.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's just, I guess, quickly recap it again. Unfortunately, another disappointing week. Got one win with Berna. We stuck it with the video. We had that right read on the video. We just had some wrong reads in other places. We should have just took our own advice and did the Ewing Berna parlay. I think just called it a day because added way too many losers to this card. I'll take the blame on Venata. I don't know why I did a parlay with him coming off like a 3-year layoff. Usually I do not do that, but yeah, just was not in the right mindset to do that. Kind of same thing for Chris Duncan. I think even for that, we talked about that being a tricky fight and put a parlay on that. But yeah, man, any other thoughts on these losers? The losing card that we got?
Not too much. I mean, I was on the Guillermo Pat. I didn't think Thomas Peterson had the striking to hurt Pat, but obviously I was wrong on that one. And yeah, Peterson was able to grind out a win on that. But yeah, our two most confident ones was Jandaroba and Ewing, and we didn't put enough units on those two confident plays right there.
Definitely. Well, let's keep that in mind for this week. Just be more committed to what we got, man. I mean, I think we got good reads, but we're not putting it in on Friday for whatever reason. So let's move on to UFC 327. This is a kind of random card, but it does have some bangers in there. Obviously, the light heavyweight title is open because Potan's moving up. So we got these two guys who are their next two in line to fight for it. I think it should be a banger card, though, man. Looked at the whole card, and it's a lot of good fights on the card, too, especially for people who enjoy watching all MMA kind of skills. So, yeah, man, what fights kind of jump out at you first? Anything's on your mind or top of mind right now?
For me, it would be Josh Van, but obviously he's not in this card anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess that main event right there, Jiri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg. Yeah, I think they're even odds right now, so we can get into that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Right now, Josh Van, yeah, that would have been a good one. I mean, but they are literally at pick odds right now. Jiri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg. It's just interested to hear your thoughts, man. Like, what do you think? What do you got going on for this one?
Yeah, this fight, I mean, I really like Carlos Ulberg's skill. Like, he's got really clean striking. I mean, you see a lot of wins on his record. He's on a winning streak. It was just that Kenny Nzechukwu loss early in his UFC career. That was the one blemish where he was getting the damage going, but he couldn't put away Kennedy, and he just gassed himself out in that one. And I mean, for this fight, I don't think he's going to be able to go to a decision and win against Jiri. I feel like the only way you can beat Jiri is if you finish him via sub or knockout. I mean, not sub. Probably knockout is the only way to put his fights out. So, and in any Jiri fight, it's always going to be chaotic. It's not going to be clean. It's never going to be like a full clean fight for the full 15 minutes or 25 minutes. And in those chaotic fights, which is all it always is, I think you got to side with Jiri, because even if he's down on the cards, it's going to get more and more chaotic as the fight goes on, unless you finish him. And I'm not sure if Ulberg will be able to fight that clean style and finish him however long this fight goes. And it might just be a matter of time before Jiri overwhelms Ulberg in maybe the later rounds, or if he catches him in maybe like between the second and fourth rounds. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard call. I would usually go with Ulberg, but I mean, Jiri, the only person that could finish him, I feel like, is Pereira. So I don't think Ulberg's a Pereira. So I'm leaning Jiri, but I guess I'm like 60% confident on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, 60% confident means that probably gonna put a unit on. See, right now, I mean, the odds are kind of pick 'em, I guess, a little bit. Yeah, this is a hard one for me too. I do tend to agree with you that when it comes to this kind of like pick, I think I got to go Jiří too. I mean, he's one of those guys who anytime it's like a 50-50 fight, I just want to go with him. I even went with him. I think I went with him the last 2 times he fought Potan, and he lost each of them. But it's just like I have so many memories of this guy just like winning this kind of fight the way he fights it. Each time he fights is literally that kind of 50-50 fight, and I've seen him knock so many guys out that way. I disrespected Potan. I didn't think he was like one of the GOAT fighters of the sport at this point. But now, he has my respect, obviously, and he's probably Yuri's kryptonite, if you will. Yeah, I also want to go with Jiří because Carlos Ulberg, I don't know, his I know it's a different matchup, but his performance against Jan Blachowicz just did not look that impressive to me. He's been knocking out people who, I mean, just look at his knockouts, right? Dominick Reyes, who he probably doesn't have a chin anymore. I don't think he has too much of a chin anymore. Alonzo Menefield, if you watch how that fight went, I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy, the Menefield, he just like bum rushed him, and just got knocked out. And Jiří, yeah, he's not gonna do that, bro. I don't think he's just gonna straight up bum rush this guy, just like with the hands down and everything. He's probably gonna leave his hands down, but there's a controlled chaos to Jiří. He's gonna get some punishment back to Carlos Ulberg at some point. Ulberg went to decision against Ozdemir, decision against Jan, that was a close fight. I'm just not really liking his wins. If you look at these rest, I mean, he's fighting a lot of people who are not contenders. If you look at the rest of his career, so Jiří's been in there with the best. I gotta go Jiří here. I think at -110. Just tell you guys, I mean, Ulberg opened up at -170, and now it's a pick him. So the line's flipped, if you will. I think it's good value on Jiří, even if it's like a pick 'em or a dog odds. My answer is like always Jiří, unless it's Potan at this point. So you could get tricky with it if you want. You can do like a live betting situation if you don't feel confident in Jiří pregame, but I feel confident in him. I feel like these odds are going to be good. But if you do want to kind of try to get the most value, you can wait and see the first round. Let's say that Carlos is landing clean on him, because Jiří's going to stand there and do that weird head movement. He might get hit a few times, but he has a crazy chin. I mean, this guy has a crazy chin, crazy recoverability. Ulberg doesn't have that Potan power. He might have that slick kickboxing, which is something we need to worry about. I think that's why it's pick 'em odds, because he is slick with it, and he could hit Jiří with something that he might not see in a way. But I think that Jiří's just not going to really be worried about his power coming back. I think just because based on how this guy's got decisions against Jan, against Volkan Ozdemir, knocked out other cans. I mean, I just don't know. And Jiří's been there with the best. So yeah, you can wait till plus odds on Jiří if you want, but I think -110 is probably another freebie for you guys. I think might as well go like a unit, 1.1 units, get back a unit. I think that's solid. Yeah. What other fights do you think could be good as a good opportunity, or that you want to talk about?
A good opportunity. Honestly, I kind of like that Gamrot versus Ribovics.
Yeah.
I think earlier in this week, maybe a day ago or two, Gamrot was at -160. And when I saw him at -160, I took it right away. Yeah, and now he's at -190. Initially, I usually like to go underdog against Gamrot. In all honesty, I'm a Gamrot hater. I just don't like how he wins, how he fights, and kind of gets by with his grappling when he gets hurt. But besides the Charles fight, his last one where he lost by sub, I mean, that's Charles do Bronx. Man, that's like, I feel like there's almost no fighter that can beat do Bronx in Brazil. And I think he was an underdog in that fight, which was crazy. And the fight before that, Ludovic Klein, I think he's just a more complete fighter than Ribovics, the guy he's facing. I mean, Ribovics, he has the volume. He'll throw a lot of different strikes at you, but most of those strikes aren't as dangerous, I think. And then there's only a few spots during a fight where he actually throws with power. I think Mateusz Gamrot will be able to handle most of the striking that Ribovics throws, even though it's in volume. I mean, Gamrot even looked good in the little time that we saw against Fiziev. He looked like he was handling the striking exchanges up until Fiziev got injured with that leg injury. And I think you just got to go Gamrot here. He was a favorite against Dubronx, and now he's a favorite against Ribovics. Yeah, I mean, Ribovics, I think he has value, but I just can't get past that Gamrot's experience. I mean, he's been in there with everybody. We've seen what happened with the Chris Duncan fight. Went up against a guy who was in there with everybody in the Money Moicano, and then that was an easy fight for Moicano. I feel like this could be like a similar spot in where the gap of the skill level will end up showing out, and I think they'll be more so towards Gamrot than Ribovics, Ribovics wins is kind of iffy. I mean, he's only beaten, I mean, his best wins, I guess, has been Zell Huber and maybe Terrence McKinney, but I mean, in any Terrence McKinney fight, your finishing ability goes up by 100-fold, and you losing by finish also goes up by 100-fold. But I think Gamrot is I'm pretty confident in Gamrot right here. Maybe like 70 to 80% confident on this Gamrot spot. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, for Gamrot, is it gonna be the Scamrot or is it gonna be the Gamrot, right? Like we don't know. This guy, he does a lot of scammy things sometimes to get his wins. He also has some close losses as well. At first, my first thought is also Gamrot. Only reason why, like I've been thinking about it, it's just the way that Gamrot fights, man. I mean, like he has great takedowns. He'll take you down, 5 takedowns a fight, right? Throughout his career, UFC so far, it's a lot. But it's like he's letting these people back up. Like it's not like he's subbing them on a regular basis or even doing like crazy ground and pound damage or something. It's like his main game is really just the relentless takedowns. I actually do think he's an underrated striker. Like he's not bad in that department. I think he's actually a good striker compared to like what people might think about him. That Arman Sarukian fight, it was a good fight for him. I mean, he did do a lot of grappling, but he also tried to hung in there as much as possible with Arman. But he is also pretty chinny. Like, I feel like each fight that I've seen him, he always either gets knocked down or like gets close to getting knocked down. I will give him credit that he gets back up pretty quickly. So sometimes it might not count as a knockdown. So he has pretty good recoverability. In the fight against Dan Hooker, I mean, I could have sworn Dan Hooker dropped him or something, but they never officially counted anything as a knockdown if you look at the stats. So, but from what I remember watching, I swear he knocked him down at least once. So, yeah, this guy has a good recoverability. Maybe not the best chin. Stand-up's good. The top control is not good, though. Control time's not good. That worries me just a little bit because while they're on the feet, I think there is going to be an edge for Ribovics. He's just a extreme volume striker. I think what you're kind of hoping is, if you're on the Gamrot side, he just treats this like a Max Holloway versus Oliveira and kind of takes him down. But the thing about Oliveira was he was able to control him, right? And then threaten a little bit. I'm not sure if Gamrot has that control time. One fight that we might want to look into is when Ribovics fought Loik Razabov. Loik attempted 21 takedowns, landed 11 of them. That's I could see Gamrot doing that. That's an easy Gamrot stat right there. But he only had 7 minutes of control time, which is like half the fight, right? It was a 29-28. So Esteban won a round in there. He dropped Loik in the second round. I don't know. Like, could he do the same to Gamrot, who's now older? Esteban was younger back then. Maybe he improved since 3 years, right? I mean, you can only improve so much in the grappling in 3 years, but it's like it's a little dicey. I'll still go with Gamrot right now. I'm not sure if I'll have like a confidence in putting him in a parlay at this point. I have to kind of look into that a little bit more deep. But yeah, I think it's funny because I think our opinions kind of flipped because initially I feel like you were on Ribovics and then I was like on
Yeah.
Gamrot. Now it's kind of like we're flipped in a little bit because like, yeah, but I don't know. It could be a closer fight than usual. But yeah, Gerard was correct. I mean, I think he gave the alert out in the Discord at when Gamrot's minus 160. So if anybody was able to get on that and you're on the Gamrot side, that's good value. He did open up at minus 220. So it's really kind of just been going one direction. People have just been taking dog odds on Ribovics since then. But, that's just what the odds are right now. But yeah, I think right now I'm leaning towards staying away, but I could be inclined to go with either fighter as we get more data throughout the week. We shall see on this one. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's probably one other fight that I personally want to talk about that could be interesting. Yeah, I think I gotta talk about this heavyweight fight. I think, it's a fun one. It's Josh Hokit versus Curtis Blaydes. Obviously, Josh, the Incredible Hulk, is undefeated. This guy's 8-0 going up against Curtis Blaydes, ranked number a 6 or something. I don't know. He's like a top 5, I guess, or top 10. Kind of insane, I think, jump. But I think the UFC wants to, catch lightning in a bottle. So after he beat Denzel Freeman just 2 months ago, this guy's back at it, fighting against Curtis Blaydes, who many people thought robbed our guy Rizvan. So yeah, this is I don't know, man. Like I'm leading Blaydes right now, but it's like how much do I want to believe in the Incredible Hulk? I mean, just the level of competition is just has not been there. I actually can't believe they're doing this much of a jump. But they must want this guy to do something because he's fighting just like an incredible gap in talent compared to like if Curtis Blaydes and Denzel Freeman fought. I don't even know what the odds would be. It's probably gonna be like minus 600 Blaydes or something, right? Like it would have been crazy. So let's just look at what the odds were when Hokit fought Blaydes. I mean, when he fought Freeman. So he's a minus 255. I would imagine that Curtis Blaydes would be higher than that. So I mean, he did look impressive against Freeman. I think Josh Hokit has everything you will want in terms of like a skill set at heavyweight. He has the kind of the striking. He has the volume striking for heavyweight. He doesn't seem. I mean, he hasn't been out of the first round in the UFC yet, aside from his contender series. But seems like he doesn't gas that much from what I see. He has a football background. Those guys are pretty athletic compared to just the normal UFC guys. And he also has a wrestling background as well. But I mean, Curtis Blaydes also has a decorated wrestling background. So I don't know. I think this is a too big of a jump for Hokit. Unfortunately, he might take the L here. But I'm rooting for him, man. He's got like good, or he at least he tries on the mic, and I think that's what we need more of in the UFC. If it's bad or if it's good, just more people speaking their mind and just trying something new rather than being an NPC. So I'm rooting for him, man. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this fight, I mean, I'm leaning Blaydes. I'm just scared of the hype of the Hawk. It might be just too overpowering. I don't know. I guess it's if you think, or how sure are you that can Hawkit win early against Blaydes, like round 1, or early in round 2, because he doesn't have any experience in an extended fight. And yeah, this, like you said, this is a big jump. Curtis Blaydes has seen it all. He's been all types of fights, but Hokit has only been like short steamroll fights. It looks like.
Yeah.
And how sure are you that he can steamroll Blaydes? So yeah. I mean, I don't think I would bet this fight, but I would be leaning Blaydes. But if I were to just to watch as a fan, I'd be rooting for the Hawk.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah,
the right
but
way to go.
yeah, I don't think I'd bet this fight though.
Yeah, probably not then, I guess. Just thinking about I mean, I just wanted to kind of talk about it because it's an interesting one, but, yeah. You got any other, kind of, angles or fights that, you wanna talk about?
Yeah, one interesting one is that Paulo Costa moving up to light heavyweight in this fight against an undefeated Azamat, a professional. Murzakanov, who just knocked out Rakic with a jab, was just kind of crazy if you think about the power that he has. And he's only what? He's like a shorter light heavyweight. But Costa, like, he looks impressive from his last fight, Kopylov. He might be like improving and showing that old Costa who was on a run and a tear at middleweight. But right now, early in the week, I was like very confident on Murzakanov. I just felt like his power would make Costa hesitate a little bit more than he did against Kopylov. Like we seen in Costa's losses, if you force him to hesitate more, he doesn't look as good because you're throwing back something that he has to think about. And Murzakanov has all of that in his light heavyweight frame, even though he's 36. I mean, he looks like he can keep going. It doesn't seem like he's slowing down. And I think if Costa were like at bigger odds, maybe it could be tempting for me. But right now, I'm still on Murzakanov for that fight. Maybe not as confident as I was early in the week with a little bit more tape study on this one because I don't know if Costa's kicks can outpoint Murzakanov at some spots during the rounds and how Murzakanov can react to that. So, yeah, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, my confidence has not wavered. Give me some Azamat at whatever price.
I give you some Azamat.
Yeah, give me that
Any
Azamat price, man. Yeah. I mean, I think this is just a horrible matchup for Paulo Costa. Costa makes a living off of trying to a big boy bully style, just the weaker minded, physically weaker middleweights. Just look at his wins. I mean, anytime he's fought like legit competition that I've seen, usually takes the L. So yeah, I think that what happened to Paulo, unfortunately, is he might have left some of himself in the cage when he fought Yoel Romero. That was a crazy fight on both sides. I'm like shocked that no one got knocked out in that fight. But both of them were landing bombs for 3 rounds. And then you kind of just saw what happened to Paulo Costa after that, right? Like, got knocked out by Izzy, lost to Marvin Vettori somehow at light heavyweight. That's a horrible loss. He beat like a 40-year-old Luke Rocco coming off like a way long layoff. Got schooled by Robert Whitaker. He landed like one kick, and then he still got schooled like everywhere else. I don't know how that was a split decision against Sean Strickland. I thought he lost pretty easily from what I saw. I don't know what you were thinking there. And then he beat Roman Kopylov, who's a step down from all those guys, and who's a guy who he could bully, right? Like I think he could bully those kind of guys. Going up to 205 against a professional like Azamat. This guy his nickname's the Professional. This guy's a professional knockout artist, professional power bombs. This guy's crazy, man. Like I think people still don't really know about him too much. I'm glad that he's actually the co-main event. I think this is a coming out party for him. A lot of people are gonna see how this guy operates. If he knocks him out in like round 1, he might fight once more, or they might just give him a title shot. Who knows? But the state of the 205 division is so weird right now. If you get like a impressive performance, you can get a title shot. I mean, I don't think the UFC really likes Ankalaev that much. I feel like they might just like skip him over, honestly. So yeah, man, I think give me some Azamat right here. Another thing is, usually, because last week I said that, I like people who go up in weight, right? And I mean, I saw Paulo Costa at 205. I didn't like what I saw. I don't know. I really don't know if this weight's gonna work well for him. He seems like he should stay at 185. Like, I feel like his body type, just the way he utilizes his strengths, is better suited for 185. But man, you're going up against a guy like Azamat. When I see Azamat, this guy looks like a middleweight to me. Like in terms of like skill, quickness, timing, so all those things that you look at like a lower division, right? Like That's why he schooled most of these 205ers. He just like straight up, man, just the way he fights, like it's just so crazy. Like I feel like he's just like gliding or levitating almost, like bouncing around on his feet. And he's just like throwing that jab out, or like then he's just like waiting for that overhand like to catch you. It's like it's really intimidating. I feel like people like underestimate him, but when they get in the cage with him, they feel that first overhand. They feel that first like just like powerful punch that he throws, and it's a game changer. It's like, I mean, just ask his opponents, man. Ask freaking Alonzo Menefield. Ask Rakic what happened to him. Like Rakic just, oh my god, just took like one punch, he was out. So yeah, this guy's KO'd everybody except for Dustin Jacoby, and that one he dropped Dustin Jacoby as well. So good luck to Paulo Costa. I think there's another KO coming in, unfortunately. Yeah, give me Azamat, performance of the night, knockout bonus incoming. I think we should have at least like 2 units on this guy personally. I wouldn't mind going like a money line play, or if you want to get like a little more tricky with it, you can do like a parlay. But yeah, I like Azamat. Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. Yeah.
All right, I'm confident in him again.
Yeah, dude. So he's probably like, just looking at the rest of this card, like probably him, maybe Kelvin Gastelum, honestly. Other than that, like you could talk me into Pico top as well, but I don't know. After how he got knocked out, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, give me Azamat. I mean that's probably the last fight I wanted to talk about. Did you have anything else on this card?
I guess this one just for fun. The Dominick Reyes, Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
I guess me personally, I guess I'm dog or pass, but at first I was Dominick Reyes, but I just didn't like how he looked like in his last fight. He was like fighting scared and hesitant and not really putting anything together against Ulberg. And Johnny Walker, he looked like he was taking damage better against Ming Yang Zhang. But then I rewatched his past fights and I was like, no. Never mind. I don't know if the chin is, even though he looked good against Ming Yang and taking damage, I mean, his other fights are crazy.
Yeah.
So whose chin would you put your life on the
Yeah, man. Probably neither, honestly, dude. This is a classic stay away from me. We do have an amazing track record on light heavyweights, but I think part of the reason why is when we put it into bet MMA tips, we put confident ones in. And not like the minus 600, 500, whatever. If you look at a track record, man, we go all across the spectrum, as high as like plus 400 or whatever. So it's, but I think it's because we stay away from things like this. I don't know, man. It's like as confident as I am in Azamat, that's how unconfident I am in this fight. So I think I think we stay away. I mean, if you had to choose, like I guess go with the dog odds, but I don't know, man. It's like it's hard putting your units in either of these fighters. I mean, honestly, for Dominick Reyes, I just kind of like. I feel like we've been on him his last like the 3 wins, and then I'm pretty sure we weren't on him against Ulberg. So we've been calling his fights like pretty correct so far. I just do not feel confident about him after getting knocked out again. It's like, damn, he's been knocked out a lot of times now. At some point, it's like one too many, And Johnny Walker, it's like this guy probably already passed his point already. I know he already got a good win, but it's like these guys have taken so much damage, both these guys. So I'm just not sure about backing either of them. I will say that, if Johnny Walker comes out and does any, like, I don't think he has because he hasn't done this in a while, but if he goes out there and tries any tricky shit, I think he's going to get knocked out for sure. He's getting knocked out. But, like, if he fights like a cleaner fight, I think he might have a chance. He has to fight like a cleaner fight, though. But I'm not risking any units to try to see what Johnny Walker's going to do. I'm good.
I think, final thought on this fight, I think the only thing that I might play on this one is because they're so suspect on the chin, they might fight a little bit more conservative in this fight. And I wouldn't be mad at taking something on the over or they're if they even either of them by points
Oof.
when they've been getting finishes in their past fights. I think Johnny Walker's plus 550 on points and Reyes is plus 700 on points. So maybe those can be like some flyer plays. You could go for like the over 1.5 maybe in a small bet and try some of those. I'm just not sure if either of them will go overly aggressive early in the fight. I think they might want to protect their chin and not get knocked out based on their history. So that could be a interesting angle if you think they're not going to go for the instant kill.
For sure.
Mm.
Yeah, well, good luck to anybody who does anything with that fight. Wish you all the luck for that. Any other fights that you want to talk about?
I think those are the main ones that I have thoughts on right now. A lot of good fights on this card, I think, even without the Josh Van and Tyra fight getting moved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and some good light heavyweight opportunities, right? I mean, we got Jiri, got Azamat. Our track record has been pretty pristine on light heavyweights. So yeah, right now it kind of just fell into it, but those are some good picks that I have, at least. It's Azamat, and then take a money line play on Jiri. Couldn't, not bad. I think some good opportunities. On Friday we'll lock in hopefully a winning card, and I'm just try to lock in, man, not be swayed by anything too much, and just stay with my conviction, and hopefully we get a winning card. But until then, best of luck, everybody. We'll see you probably next week, but best of luck this week on the fight card.